Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs, and I have a little craft with me, kind of just play with some stuff that I have, and thought maybe I'd just turn on the camera and you guys might be interested. So anyway, what I'm doing today is I had gone out this morning to have a cup of coffee in my little garden out back, and it's nothing elaborate. I haven't done that much this year to it because I knew we would be going out of town a lot, and I didn't want to have to worry about watering and all that kind of stuff. But I did plant some wildflowers, which kind of just do their own thing. And I picked a few of them, and they're getting kind of wilted because it was quite a few hours ago that I did this. But I'm going to make some slide mounts for them, and I had been looking for the slide die, and I know that you can get a lot of digital kits, they have them and stuff, but I just wanted to generically make them, and so I kind of had to figure it out for myself, and I had some definite hits and misses, and I did. I have square punch, and this punch it's weird. I mean, it doesn't say on here. I've had this thing forever, but it's what I had. So this is like, you would think it would be 1.5, but it's like and it's not even 1 3/4. It's like 1 1/2 and 1/8. So, so that would be what, 1 2 3 4 6 7 8 or something like that. No, not that much. It's just a weird, odd amount. I'd say it's about a little over 1 1/2. And square, and I checked and I thought, well, maybe, let's see, this is what it cuts out. So yeah, so it's just a little over 1 1/2, and it doesn't even hit the next mark. So I don't know, I've had it forever. So if you've got a punch, I mean, I just didn't want to get another punch, is my deal. Now I had a smaller square one, and I tried it, and it was a 1-inch punch, and I didn't like it as much. I like the bigger one better, just for my purposes. So, just use what you have, or get something, I don't know. Anyway, then what I did is I wanted it to be a little rustic, so I took some of this just this cardstock that I had. Now you could do it white, you could do it with poster board. I would say that you want it, this isn't super heavy. This is just, I don't know what weight it is because I've had it forever, but it's just, it's heavier than just regular paper. So, and I think you would want that. You would want something with a little weight to it. But they don't have to be super heavy. And honestly, my punch does not like super heavy. It's not a thick punch. It's just a regular punch. And I know they're making them now with that to do thick. And if I see one maybe on sale, I might get one. But I don't use it that much. So anyway, so what I did is I took this and I cut it down to 2.5 to 5.5, and this measurement for me was important. It may mean nothing to you, okay, because depending upon the size of your punch is the size that you may want to make your slide. But my punch, let's just say you have an 1.5 inch punch, or even an inch. This size works because it makes one side a little bit bigger than the other. Anyway, what I did after that, so your measurement, you're going to have to play around with your punch and see, okay, what your measurement you want it to be. But ultimately what you want, and I'll show you how this ends up, ultimately what you want is you want one end to be a little bit bigger than the rest of it, okay? And so here's these other portions here, and if you can notice, it's just maybe 1/8 of an inch difference, and that's kind of how the slides are. They're just a little bit bigger at one part of the square, okay? So it makes it not a perfect square, because like one side, where'd my ruler go again? I gotta get for some reason my ruler's they said it wasn't going to come. Okay, so like for instance, this is 2.5 inches wide or long there. Well, across the bottom, okay, what's going to happen is, wait, that's longer than that. I'm sorry. Yeah, this one is 2 3/4, okay, by a little bit less than 2.5, or a little bit more than 2.5. So that it's like an 1/8 of an inch difference, okay? And that 1/8 of an inch is what gives you that slide look, the old-fashioned slide look. So for instance, if you have a 1 inch, you know, you would just measure proportionately is all I'm trying to say. And then your sides obviously are going to be a little bit, you know, they'll end up smaller than this portion right here, because this is only, okay, this is like a 1/2 inch, whereas this is 2/4. Let me, or is it? Yeah. So that's the difference, okay? You're going to have a difference, and that measurement is going to be different, again, depending upon your square that you have, okay? You're just trying to get the look of one portion being just about 1/8 of an inch different than the other sides, okay? So what I did then is I took my, where'd my bone folder go? I took my slide, and I tried it 2 different ways. I tried to punch a square here and a square here and then line them up. I could never punch them in the exact same spot and get them to line up. I couldn't do it. Matter of fact, I think I was going to show you my problems that I had. What did I do with them? Maybe I threw them away. I might have thrown it away. I think I might have thrown it away because it was such a reject. But what happens is it's really hard to line them up perfectly. If you punch one side and then the other side, what happens is to get the 2 squares in the exact spot, it's really hard. So I folded mine over, and again, the proportions are going to be different for you. And then what I did is I lined it up in the middle as best I could, okay? And I put the folded side down because it was easier to get in there. It doesn't matter really which side you use. And then what I did is I got it kind of centered in the middle. You know how you look kind of down on your punch and you just kind of make sure it's in the middle. All right, so, oh, I've got more than, how many do I have in there? I've got more than the 2. I've got, oh my goodness, I had it quadrupled. That ain't gonna work. Oh, I see, I've got a little piece of paper stuck in there. That's what it is. Hold on, guys. I got my one I punched out before. Okay, there we go. Just put that out of there. Okay, so anyway, let me get back to that. You've got your paper folded in half, and I used a bone folder to kind of make it crisp. And it's kind of important that you line it up right when you do it, when you put it in half, okay? Whatever your dimensions are, just make sure that, you know, you have it lined up right. And then all I did is I put the folded part down, and I did my very best to line it up. And I will show you what I did is I got it in as far as I could get it down. And then what I did is after I lined it up, I took the end, wherever the end part would be of my paper, and I just did a mark here with a pencil so that I could know that I needed to line it up in between those 2 for it to be in the middle. So I wouldn't have to do it over and over again and eyeball it or whatever. If it turned out good and that was the middle, then that's where I marked it. Now my punch is not a heavy duty punch, but even so, I couldn't put enough pressure just pressing down like this. So I actually just put my punch, you can't see this, but you can hear it. And I just stepped on it, and it works just fine, just fine. And like I said, this is heavier cardstock. So, you know, it's not super thin, but I had no problems punching through it if I did that. Now, if I tried to do it by my hand, with my hands, I couldn't put enough pressure on it. And I always use my tweezers to help me. So there you go. See, there's our slide right there. That was it. Anyway, so I did that. I'm going to do one more. So I don't know how much time we'll have to do. We'll do whatever we can. So just make sure whatever, you're going to have to play around with whatever square you have and what dimensions you have. So, and anyway, like I said, I had a smaller square, and some people may like that better, but for my purposes, I like a bigger one. So I would imagine it's probably 1.5 is a size that would work for a lot of people. And then again, so I put it in there, and like I said, once you line it up and then you figure out where you want it, you might as well just mark it. So every time you're doing this, they're all the same size. Move that over a tiny bit. See what I'm doing is I'm lining it. I'm lining the two edges in between the lines that I put so that every time I do it, I know that I'm pretty much on center. Okay? Then I'm going to put it on the ground and step on it again. There we go. And there we are. So that's just how I made my actual slide. If you can get out of there. When you have them where they're, lower than where you can grab it, it's good to have something to grab it with. So that's what I did with that. Okay, and so they all turned out pretty good. I mean, they weren't all perfect, but they were pretty good. Then what I did is I took my 1/4-inch rounder, and I just went, and this is how I, actually, you know what, I did that after I glued them together. Let's wait to do that, just in case they're off a tiny bit. I did use a 1/4-inch rounder on her, but we'll do that later. Okay, so the next thing I did is I needed to laminate my flowers, okay? And I don't have a laminator, although I do have a laminating kind of deal for my, oh my gosh, I can't think of what it's called. Here. Y'all will remember. They'll tell me right when I look at it. Oh yeah, my Xeron. I have a laminating thing where I can roll it through there. But I thought a lot of people don't have that. So I'm going to do it a different way, so maybe other people can do it. Now, if you have a laminator, like I have that, I could use that. But I'm just trying to figure out a way that everybody can get in on this. And maybe I got these laminating sheets from the dollar store. And you can get laminating sheets online, anything, where you don't need heat. Okay. These are just the sticky sheets, okay? So these come 3 pieces about this big to a container, and you can use these will work, okay, if you don't have any machine to laminate with. And not only that, you can buy laminating sheets at Walmart or whatever that you don't need heat for, that are just sticky ones like this, okay. The other thing I used is this this is We Are Memory Creepers, and this is just a little die cut type machine, and you don't have to have this. You can take your flowers and put them in a book overnight. I just have, and of course I have an electric one, and I have another big one, but here's the thing. This, for my purposes for this worked great, and I bought this. And I got it mainly at Tuesday morning, and it was just a really hot deal, and I thought, I'll never use this. I use this thing all the time, because it's small. And if you're doing junk journals, there's lots of little things that you cut out a lot, and guess what? This is perfect for that. So it was like $24, came with a big kit and all this other stuff. And anyway, so I'm going to use this, and what I did is took the 2, I didn't use the C plate. It has a different plates, just like you do with the big ones. And you can use a big one. It'll work just the same as this. You don't have to have this little one. But anyway, I just took these 2, and this is because I'm too lazy to wait overnight. And I cut my flowers. I cut as much of the back stem off as I can, but don't cut too much or the flower will fall apart. And I just laid them on there. And I just did a few at a time. These are wilting so bad, I got to do some of them. Let's see. Ooh, I'm going to have to pick some more tomorrow. I don't think these are going to last. All right, let's pick another one that's different. How about a white one? We haven't done a white one. This has like a really, see the back of it's really high. You're going to have to cut that enough to where you can put it in there and it doesn't fall apart. See, that one fell apart. It's not going to work. Not going to work. It's all in pieces, so that won't work. There's a trick to it, and it took me a while. Let me see if I can find one that won't be so bad. I waited way too long to do this. Okay, how about, no, let's just do a different one though. Here, this one, I won't go down as far. You can't go down too far. And then what you do is you kind of lay it on its side. And it's not going to go completely flat, but you've got to get it flat enough to where you can put it in there. And then how about, let's do this one before it gets completely wilted. Oh, it's in bad shape. Okay. I'm going to go down as far as I can. Move that one up a little bit. All right. Get that down there. So you kind of position them where you want them. And then you put your plate over it. Okay. And all this is going to do is do what a book would do overnight. That's all it's going to do. So I'm going to put that here. Put that in there. And it doesn't seem like it's smushing them down much, but it is. And the thing is, I'll show you what happens if you do too much smushing, okay? All that's going to do is smush it down enough to where we can do what we're going to do. If you smush it too much, okay, they will fall apart. Okay, that's what happens to them. Which, you know, that may be okay with you. But that's what happens if you smush them too much. So anyway, so we got them smushed down enough to where we can use them. And then we're going to take, I just leave that off to the side. This laminating stuff, all you do is, let me see if I can find a little thingy in here. You just find this little plastic part right here. This is what you pull off gradually to add your flowers onto. Now, we have to make, if you look at this, we have to have enough plastic a little bit bigger than these squares around it so that we can cut it out and put it in there. So we kind of eyeball it. I think I took one and just kind of, this was my generic thing of how big it had to be. I just kind of used it as a little template. Let me just cut this a little bit so I can do this. It has to be just a little bit smaller than that area right there. So I kind of just, in fact, let me just take this off. I left it kind of like this. You're supposed to kind of just leave it down like that. So I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to make sure that I have, because if you don't have enough room around it, it won't seal. See, I have enough room. It's going to be like about that. I'm just, and I can eyeball it now because I've done enough of them. I could do about 3 per thing is what I found. Okay, even though you're wasted. Oh, there's a little hair there. We don't want that hair in there. Oh, come on out. Is it on the other side? It might be on the other side. Is it on the other side? Yes, it is. Okay. And then we'll do this. Maybe, you know, actually, well, it's already stuck. And once you put them down there, they're stuck. So you want to kind of, oop, that one's actually upside down. Well, it doesn't matter. It'll be either way. Either way, it'll turn out okay. Okay, so there we go. And you kind of put them down and they will stick. So you're basically positioning them, okay? So that's why I used my tweezers. It really helped to kind of, and you're not going to get them in there perfect, but okay, there we go. So then you just take your flat part that seems to have stuff on the other end, and you're just going to lay it, okay, get that off of there. You're just going to lay it down right on top, okay, and kind of go around it. you know, and get as many of the bubbles out as you can. And look at that. So there you go. So now you have 3 little, see, that's the other side. I don't know why I was thinking about turning it over. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so there you go. And you get, what did I do with my bone folder? I just took my bone folder and went as close as I could to get as many bubbles out. And of course, once you get up to the actual flour, it's not going to go in much, but this will help you get as much as you can. And I kind of went around it to make sure that they were sealed in there good. Now, if you want to use a smaller hole punch, you could put another one here. Like, I probably could have put a couple more in there, but anyway, I figured out that 3, 4 max are going to work. So then I just took my handy dandy little thing here, and I just kind of eyeballed it. You know, it wasn't, if I make it a little big, I'm not too concerned about it. But in fact, I think I did cut them all out a little big and then cut them down later. So I just cut some squares out and I got them. Okay, and then this one is going to have to be a little bit. And I'm only using this as a guide. That's it. So just that I know that I've cut it big enough. Once you place it in there, you can kind of tell how big you're going to have to make it. It's better to cut it bigger than to try and cut them, you know, exactly the size. Because if they're too small, you can't use them. Like this one may end up being too small. I might have placed it too close to the other one. We shall see. This doesn't look good right now, I'll tell you that. But we'll see. We shall see. Let me cut that off a little. I don't know. Let's see if it'll fit. Looks like it might. Oh, barely made it. Barely made it, guys. And it's still a little up there, a little high, but it'll fit. See? Okay. So then all we're going to do, see, and we could have probably put one more in there. See that? We could have fit one more. Oh, well. That's okay. The other one wouldn't have made it, but we could have done one more. I don't know if this will come apart. I just feel like it's a waste. Hold on. This is probably harder than I thought. Okay, let me get it. It's probably not worth it. I'll fuss with that later. Okay, anyway, guys, so now we have our specimens for our slide, and what I'm going to do is show you what we do next. I used my 3-in-1 glue to adhere these only because this is plastic, and I didn't know if the other glues would stick to it. So I thought, I knew this would work. So anyway, you just open it up, and I put enough glue. Don't put too much glue, but you need enough to make sure it adheres. Okay, if you put too much, it'll wind up bleeding into the plastic, and I did it on both sides because you're going to sandwich this in between. But just don't put any big blobs, but you want to make sure it goes all the way around. We can try this one. Let's try that. And if it's too big right now, that's okay. We can trim it. I think I'm going to trim this one a little bit before I put it in there. I think I'd rather trim it on this side. Okay. I think that'll fit now. So now I'm going to put that down. And this one is, you know, there's more flour than we have plastic area. And that's kind of why I liked it, the bigger punch. I didn't like the smaller punch because it just didn't seem like I could get much flour on it. And then I just sandwich it in between. You've got glue on both sides. And just kind of hold it down. And if you have to clamp it or something, clamp it. It's not that hard because they're smooshed down pretty good. Like I said, if you smush them too much, they just fall apart. So you can dry them and do that too if you want to. This is going to eventually dry in here anyway, okay? But, okay. So anyway, I got that down, and then what I did is I sewed around mine, okay? You know, if you don't want to, that's fine, but I sewed around it, and then let me finish putting these in here, and I'll show you what we did, so we can do a few more at the same time. Let's put that in here. We're just going to put the glue. Like I said, don't blob too. You want enough to go all the way around to seal it, but you don't want to have so much that it leaks into on the plastic. So that's the key. And I don't know if other glues will hold this or not. I haven't tried it. You can certainly try it. Okay, so then you kind of want to make sure you got enough of your plastic on there. And this one's centered really well because it's a smaller flower, but okay, so we're going to put that. I think this just needs to go down with my bone folder a little bit. Okay, and just hold it till it seals. Okay, so that's another one. Okay, then this one, let's take another one here. And I think we have, what, 2 more slides? So we'll smush a couple more flowers. But anyway, guys, this is kind of a fun thing to do. And I was going to buy the slide, but I don't think I'm going to. I just don't. I'm happy enough with these. And then you get the slides in the kits. I don't know if I'd use it that much. And wait till you see how these turn out. I think they turn out pretty good. So I'm going to put that in here. See, now this one barely fit in the plastic. So, in fact, yeah, I think I can move it down a little bit, get it more centered, and they'll still be there. It's got a little lump on the one side, but that's okay. It'll be fine. And once I sew it in, and that's the other thing too, is that when you do the double on the, when you double it, when you put the punch through, then you know that your squares are going to line up. I tried to do it singly, and I'm telling you, I couldn't do it. So you may be able to, and there may be a trick to that. Now see how this isn't, it's kind of a lumpy area there. I'm just going to put that there for a minute and just let it dry. Okay. And let's just go ahead and squish a couple more. Where's the other part of it? Okay, here we go. It's over here. So let's see if I've done anything different here. Have I done this one? I've done that. Let's do this pretty pink one. It's bigger, but okay, we'll do that. And okay, now see, I can't go any shorter on this, so I have to lay it kind of sideways, and then just kind of put it like this, and put it a little bit to where it's kind of fanned out. So then it'll give this centerpiece and then not be so bulky. I really want to get one of the, did I get a purple one? I don't think I did I? Ooh, let me try these, if they're not completely all dead by now. Yeah, I waited a little bit too long to do this video. I was thinking about it earlier, and then I got distracted, and let's see if these will work. Now these are a little bit different, but I think they'll look cool in there if I can get them in there. I don't know, that'll be too much. I'll just put that in there. Okay. I don't know if I, ooh, wait a minute, this one's cool. I'll do that one. Yeah, I'll do that. Or maybe, is this one like that? Oh, this is cool too. How many of those do I have? I'm talking to myself over here. That's neat. I'm going to do that one. Okay. Like I said, the trick is you want to make sure that you're not smushing it down too much. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and see, and this is where I use my tweezers. Oh, I smushed it too much. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. There we go. That's how I want it right there. And then this one I kind of want, I'm kind of just, all I'm doing is positioning it in the plates the way I want them, so that hopefully they will smush the way I want them. And then you can, you know, you could just do this with your hands probably, or a book, or you don't need to do it with this. I just had it and I'm like, okay. There's lots of things I have that I'm just sitting here going, you know, let me go back through again one more time. Get that in there. Okay. See if that smushed it enough. All right, now I'm going to just get another piece of my laminating here. Get the stuff off the other end because it's confusing. All right. If I can get the end going here. Oh, please. All right, here we go. And what I did again is I positioned it on the sticky side so they would stick to where I put it. So I probably should have done another flower just so I didn't waste it, huh? Maybe I'll do that real quick and put this one over here. What the sticky does is it allows you to kind of position your flower to where it will, you know, how you want it. I'm going to take this one. I think I can fit it. Oh, maybe a smaller one. Hold on. Hold on. I'll do this, the one I was going to do before. Where did it go? Here we go. I'm going to do that right here, because it's already kind of flat. Okay. I got that down. All right, so now that I have it where I want it, I'm going to just take this and go down with it. All right. And then, like I said, you want to go around the edge. Now I realize on this one, it is going all the way to the edge, but that's okay because it'll still look good when we get done. Watch. So I go as close as I can in with my bone folder to kind of get rid of the bubbles. All right. I could have put that more in the middle, but I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. It's still going to work though. Watch. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of eyeball it of how big, because this would overlap no matter what we did, guys. So, and I always cut it bigger than what my template has, just because I'd rather have it bigger than smaller. That way I can fix that. I can't fix the smaller. Okay. So there's one. And then I'll probably just go, let me see how big I got to do this one. I probably did this one up too high. I'm not doing real good with this. I'm not paying attention. As I used to tell my kids all the time, details matter. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to do that. And like I said, I just use this, and this is not my final template because I know that I can go back in and trim it, so that doesn't really bother me too much. I just want to make sure that I get it approximately the right size, and hopefully this one's going to work. It might be too short. It might be. Oh, no, barely fits. Okay. Okay, here we go. Anyway, guys, so we are going to go ahead and finish these and get that off of there. So I think I only have room for 2 more, so I think I'm going to do, let's see, I will do maybe these 2 right here. I'll do that later. Okay, so this one I'm going to go ahead and put in. That looks kind of cool, right? And there's nothing really different about these than the other ones, other you just got to glue them in. Now see, I put too much glue there, and I'm gonna definitely spread it around. And I learned my learned my lesson when I was practicing with these, because if you put too much, it gets all over the plastic part, and then you end up with a big old mess. And you know, can't really get it off. Well, you can wipe it off, but it just makes it harder. You know, it's better not to have big blobs everywhere. Okay, so we're going to do this. And I'm going to go ahead and put that right there. And this one barely fit. I just made it almost too small, but it fits, so I'm feeling good about that. Oops, see, there's like a string on the outside. Got that off. Okay, so we're going to get that down. Like I said, I use my little clips just to hold it sometimes because I'm very impatient. And I'll put these right here just to hold it, just to make sure it's down. I do that with my fingers a little bit. It doesn't take long to dry. Put those over there. Okay, and then I'm going to do this last one. Now this one, I think I cut it a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut it on the bottom. Okay, so that's going to go kind of sort of right there. All right. And I just do both sides at the same time. I mean, I guess you could do them one by one, but I didn't see a point in that. So, get off my fingers. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to put that in there. Move it up a tiny bit. Okay, there we go. And see, that one looks pretty good. Even though it's too big, I think it looks really good. My problem with the smaller punches is like, I mean, it was hard to get flowers small enough to fit in there to where you could even, you know, really see them. So, and I saw that too with some of the little slide cutouts that you could get. So to me, this worked good. So anyway, all right, that one's pretty flat, so it's sticking together pretty good. All right, so let's see what I did next here. Let me get a little drink of water here for a second. Then what I did is I took, here, I'm going to put these flowers in here. They're not going to make it till tomorrow, but poor things. I'll have to get some more. I could dry them tonight in a book and use them, but they kind of didn't make it. This one made the cut, so he's okay. All right, so then let me move some of this stuff out of the way. What I did, here's the ones that we made, is I took, this is where I took my 1/4 inch punch, and it is better to wait till they're together, because before when I did it, then you have to line them up and get them all perfect, and you know, we don't want to do that. So, okay, so let's just do that. Oh, that one's dry, so I think we could do that now. Put that over here. Okay, so we just took this. We'll move that over here because we can't use it yet. 1/4 inch, and just went around, and I cut all, and you don't have to do this. You could leave it square, but in my mind, I think it made it look more like what I was going for. So I just did that. See, that's pretty cool. And okay, this one did not glue good on that right there, so I'm going to have to put a little bit more glue in there. Hold on. Hold on. All right, let me put this over at the side, let it dry a little bit, and then it'll probably be ready to punch by the time we're done. It was not cooperating. And like I said, I sewed around mine. I like the look, but you know, y'all can do what you want. But anyway, You definitely don't have to. They look pretty cool without it. Did that. More slide look to do the rounded edges. Now I know some slides just came in square, but I just thought this. I do that. Right. My last one. Oh, I didn't get the corner in all the way. I bet it's getting full. I gotta empty out my punch. Just do this one more thing for me, will you? Okay. All right. So then, oops, what happened over here? That thing's not working. Okay, so let me go ahead and we're going to sew these. Okay, so I got them all sewed, and this is how they look. They look, I've got the string, I like the strings on there. I'll leave them on there. So this is how they looked they look pretty cool just like that. I mean, and then I went and I inked them with some distress ink. Of course, we always got to do that. Gives them a little bit of a cool look. And I just think when you're using this craft paper, I don't know. I liked how the craft paper looked. Now I'm sure they'd look good in white or whatever other, you know, whatever other color you wanted to do it. But this to me just seemed to add to it. And like I said, you do want it to be, it doesn't have to be super heavy cardstock, but you do want them reasonably heavy. So the plastic and everything to sandwich in between, I think. I mean, these aren't super bulky embellishments, but, you know, they're a little bulky. They're not, you know, they're not real bad, but it's kind of a cool thing maybe to have one or two in a journal, I think. Anyway, we're going to do that. All right, to the last one. Sorry you guys have to watch me ink. I probably could have just waited and had you do that. Okay, so there we go. We got them all inked up now, ready to go. So now here comes the fun part. Okay, so what I did then is I took my hole punch, and I punched a hole. Where did I punch it? I'm trying to remember. I did it on the smaller end, not the bigger end. Like here, this is a little bit wider. I did it over here so that I could put a brad, or no, I'm sorry, an eyelet. Okay, so then I just took my eyelets and you don't have to do this part. This is just something I did, so I'll put that in there. I thought that looked pretty cool. So, and you could put like a little ball pen or something in there if you want to hang it front with that, like that. You know, now what I did is I did one thing more, is I took, and I've been telling you guys, let me show you that. I took my little typewriter, and I will show you my typewriter at some point, but and I just typed out specimen and put a number next to it. So the kind of stuff I do with that typewriter all the time. It was well worth the $25. I think it was $26. It was a weird amount. I remember that. It was like, well, why don't you just say 25, you know? But anyway, I remember I had to give him $1 in quarters. Okay, so then I just ink that up a little bit. Okay. And I put that on the bottom side right there. And of course, you know, this is all to taste. You may not even want to do that, but I thought it kind of added to it. So let's put that here. And I just put that with the art glitter glue. And I put it right there. So there you go. There's one. And then let's just try this big one. And I'm going to put a whole, where am I going to put this one? Maybe right here. There is no rhyme or reason as to how I'm doing this, so I think I want this to be the front. I've got a few strings in there that are just a little bit messed up. I don't care if they're a little messed up. I don't want them just too crazy, so there we go. I like them a little messed up personally, but okay, I'll put that here. And get me another one. Alright. Like I said, this part's totally optional. You don't have to do that. Oop, did I not? Oh, I see. That was from the inside. Okay. Get that in there. Oh, did it upside down. Got it. Okay. I don't know. I think I just messed it up. I think I did it too many times the wrong way. See if I can get it to smush down a little bit better. I might have to put another one in there. No, it worked. Okay, so I got that in there. Okay, add another one. Yeah, I use the typewriter. I did my own definitions on some things, and it just seems to me a lot of times when you're doing this, you're always wanting really small words. I found myself using the Tim Pulse words all the time, you know, because they were small and they fit. But the typewriter is basically the same size font. And I don't know, I just like the authentic look of it. It looks really, I don't know. I know you can do this on your computer, but I don't know, it's kind of a grayish tone to the letters, and I don't know, I just think I like how it looks. There's another one. Let's see what we're doing on time here, and then do a couple more. I should have probably cut all these out and inked them before, huh? I think I could have done that. Anyway, I had done a few of these, so I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, I bought that typewriter on Facebook Marketplace, and let me see, I can show it to you real quick. It's just right here. It's heavy though, let me tell you. Here we go. This is it, guys. I bought this on Facebook Marketplace for $26. Galaxy Deluxe Smith Corona manual typewriter, and the reason I was looking for this particular typewriter or one similar is you can get the ribbons for it. They'll fit. There are a lot of typewriters out there that you can get really cheap, but make sure you can get a ribbon for them, okay? And I wanted a manual, less chance of it not working right or not being able to get ribbons. And I had done a little research and you can get a ribbon for this. Now this one I paid $26 for, and it wasn't refurbished, but the refurbished ones can cost up to $200. And I just made sure when I checked it out that it was all, some of the keys stuck, so I had to clean it real good, and I oiled it, and it works fine. I have a couple of keys that get stuck, and I just move them, you know, and they don't stick real bad. It's just, you can't type super fast. You can't type super fast on these anyway. That's not really the point. But anyway, guys, look out for those, and for the money, it was worth it. I didn't want to pay the price for a, you know, a pretend vintage one, because I thought they were very, very high price considering what I could get the real thing for. So, and then I think I looked on eBay or something or whatever, and the shipping was more than the typewriter. So I thought, well, I'm not, and I can understand why. It's very heavy, but very, very heavy. Okay, so we got these, and let's go ahead and glue those on. And then I put all of these on where we put the larger side, but you know, you don't have to do that. Like I said, that's totally up to you. Do it where you want. I have a hard time picking these up sometimes. So guys, I hope everybody is doing all okay and healthy and safe and getting to get all their crafting done, because I'm telling you, I have just been a crafting fool. We're getting ready to go on vacation, and then I'm packing and doing that too, but I'm trying to make sure I get all my crafting done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these on, because that's my next step. And like I said, I didn't really have any specific order to put these in, or I just made up these numbers, and I don't know. Try and get that in the middle. I kind of want them on there a little bit haphazardly. I'm thinking, well, what if this was somebody in a lab? They'd probably just slap them on there. Not supposed to be pretty. And then I put these over here. Oh, make sure I get it in the right spot. Do I want it over there? Yeah, I think I do. And I kind of just did that. Alright. And then let's just punch our holes in there. I think I'll put that one here. I'm going to punch the holes all at one time and then do the brad, so I'm not doing two different things. Oh, and that's another thing too, is I would sew before you put your brads in, because you don't want to hit a brad with your sewing machine. And I had no trouble sewing through the plastic and the paper. I mean, you know, on my sewing machine, and it's not heavy duty. It's just a regular old sewing machine. Now I do have a heavier needle in it, but I don't, you know, it's not super duper heavy. So, and I'm cutting right through the thread. Doesn't matter to me. It's not like it's holding anything in there. So, and then let me just get a few of these. You know, you don't have to put these eyelets in there, but I thought it looked really cool, so that's how I'm doing them, but y'all can do any way you want to. I thought that just added to the look. This thing's really crooked. Well, it's just going to be crooked then, I guess. Anyway, guys, that is all she wrote. I think it's kind of a fun little thing. And then I did a couple more things to them. I just took, okay, then I just took a little bit of twine, and like I said, these are all things that you may or may not want to do. I mean, you know, whatever. And I put this through here. Now, whenever I'm tying these little tiny bows, I take way more out than I need, and I do a little rabbit ears bow and make them smaller, because that's the only way I can do it. Because otherwise I can't maneuver it in my hands well enough. Alright. So I just make a big bow and then make it smaller. Let's pull that down till I get it to where I want it. Alright. That's probably about right. And then I'm going to cut that and cut that. There we go. And then I usually take my glue and I put a dab of glue in the knot so it doesn't come undone. Just kind of go like that. And that'll keep it there. And then look at that. Isn't that cool? I think that looks neat, right? And then you could take... let's see, you could take a ball pen, and if I can figure out which way it opens, and then just stick that through your eyelet. That's why the eyelet's kind of cool, because it gives you a way to hold it on there. See, and then you could just put that right on your page like that. Isn't that cool? And then let's do this one. Let's say this one already has a ball pen in it, but let's see, maybe we want to, I don't know, let's put a different kind of bow on that, or no bow. It could be whatever you want. And I just think they look good. That doesn't take a lot to do them, really. And just get you some, it was a cheap thing. As a matter of fact, I think I got one of those little boxes at the dollar store for the wildflowers and put it in this one little area that I have and it's actually really pretty. And I think I used like 2 or 3 boxes or something like that, and just kind of threw them everywhere. I got all these cute little wildflowers growing out there. Let's do that and do that. Put that on there. I always do that, because if I don't, then it's going to come out later. So there you go. There's another one. Oh, goodness gracious. Come on. Did I do that wrong? Okay, so now I got to put that, well, you get the idea. Okay, so there's another one. Let's try this one. We could take some of this and maybe put that on there. See how that looks. I don't know. Whatever is your cup of tea, right? Actually, I don't like that one on there. I'm going to change it. I'm going to put... Oh no, y'all are going, it doesn't make that much difference. It does to me. Okay. Oh, that didn't go down there good. I got to fix that. Like I said, guys, when I do stuff, you do it right. Take your time. Don't do it the way I do it. Okay. But anyway, I like the black on here better. So when I do stuff with you guys, you know, it's for keeps. So I want it to be what I like. Okay. I use this stuff. Anyway, put that on there. There we go. Make that a little bit smaller. That's about right. There we go. Yeah, see, I like the black better on that. I think. Y'all are going, no, I like the other one better. I always hear it later. No, you should have left it the way it was. You messed it up. So, I'm going to put this one on here. Okay, and like I said, you can put a bulb pin on there, whatever you want to put. I'll show you one that I did in a minute. I hope I did that big enough to where, that's what I'm saying, I always cut it really big so I can manipulate it, because I can't tie teeny tiny bows to begin with. So go like that, Go like that. Ugh, there we go. That's probably about right. Cut that here. I can't tell you how many times I've been going fast with these scissors and I've cut my fingers. Oh my gosh. They stay sharp so long. If anybody's on the fence on buying these Tim Holtz scissors, buy them. Best scissors I've ever had, and oh my god, I need to buy more. They're just amazing. Because I thought, oh, they're just hype. Come on, it's just, you know. Yep, they're worth it. Okay, the last one. I don't know. I got to come up with something different. Oh, I know. We'll just use brown. How about brown? I think brown would look good if I can find the end. You notice how you can... And, oh, and this is just stuff I bought from the dollar store. This cording or whatever. I use it for little things all the time. Nothing fancy, that's for sure. Put that in there. Oh, come on. Anyway, guys. And I mean, I guess you could add a lot more stuff to it. Do whatever and add like little, you know, things to it. But I guess I just kind of liked it this way. And you can stick this on a page and, you know, I don't know. I think it could add a lot. Let me get this one over here. See what I'm talking about? I can't do tiny bows. I have to do them big, make them small, and get them where I want them. There we go. That's better. That still doesn't look great, but it's better than it was a couple seconds ago. I don't know why this doesn't want to fluff out a little bit. There we go. That's better. There we go. Get all that out of the way. Alright guys, now we've done all these, and I think they turned out really cool. Alright, I think they turned out really neat, really cool. And then I did some earlier. You can hang them with a paper clip and just clip them onto your, if on this one I put on the large part, I didn't put the specimen up there, I put it up there, and then you could just take this and clip it onto a page. This one I used a brad. I went ahead and did my eyelet, but I put a brad in there. And the reason I did that is you could put this on your page and put the brad in there. I'll put it back in now so you can... So I still have that eyelet in there, and I just put the brad in. But you could just put this right on your page and then attach it that way, and it would turn, okay? And then, of course, this one I just did a bulb pen, like I showed you on the other one. And that's it, guys. That is all she wrote. So these are really fun to make and very inexpensive if you do it the way I did it. And you get to use stuff you already have and don't have to buy the expensive die to do it. Alright, so you take care, and I'll see you again. And don't forget about giveaway Fridays. If you're new to my channel, all you have to do is be a subscriber and comment on a video during the week, Friday through Friday. And on Friday I take all those comments. If you've watched 5 videos and commented one time on each video, maximum one time per video, can be an old video, doesn't have to be a new video. And for every time you comment on a video for that current week, I put your name in my big fish bowl and I draw on Friday, and I give away all kinds of stuff. You can look at my previous giveaways. I give away journals, and I give away as part of my stash or whatever. And I pay up to $10 shipping, so shipping's free, and you get it every Friday, and you just have to be a subscriber. And I think I'm something like 15 subscribers away from my 1,000th subscriber, and I am giving away a journal. I'm not going to go through it but anyway, this is going to be given away. It's not tied. Here we are. To when I hit my 1,000th subscriber, and it's just there is a flip through out there on this, but I'm just going to go through it really quick. So when I hit 1,000, I'm going to do that, and you don't have to do anything special for that. When you enter in for your giveaway Fridays, you'll be in there too. Okay? All right, y'all, take care. We'll see ya.